Hello and good morning, everyone. Thank you for tuning in on this beautiful, extraordinary Tuesday morning here in South Florida. It's March 23rd, 2023, and I guess we're officially into spring, but for us, it feels like a winter morning. Actually, not too bad. It got down to low 50s, and that's cold for our area. I want to thank you for tuning in. This is the Quality of Life radio show. I'm your host for the day, Tom Bouvier, and I'm filling in for Gary Owen, the founder of Owen Insurance Group, as well as the host of the Quality of Life radio show. Now, filling in for me is my counterpart, Kathy Prosnewski. Welcome, Kathy.
Hey, thank you, Tom. Good morning to everyone.
Absolutely. And we're streaming live on Facebook. Many of you are watching on Facebook. And if you're not, and you get to the office or you're listening on the radio, you can go to the Facebook, type in Quality of Life, and you can watch us as well as listen in. But we're broadcasting here from the studio. We have affectionately called our studio the WOIG. That's the Owen Insurance Group office here at 1611 Northwest Federal Highway in Stuart, Florida. We also simultaneously are airing this on 1450 AM. That's WSTU, the Heritage Station, and WPSL 1590 AM. And for those who have not listened in, Kathy, the last few weeks, we're actually on a new format. Instead of having a full hour, having a special guest, community guest that we introduce, support, and showcase, we've actually pared it down to 30 minutes of quality of life, mainly insurance straight talk. And Kathy, what does that mean to you? Insurance straight talk.
Well, Tom, that actually means that we share our knowledge and present information about important insurance solutions, pitfalls to avoid, transparency, and good old-fashioned straight talk that will enhance and improve your quality of life. Because our mission here at OIG, or Owen Insurance Group, is to simplify insurance planning so you can enjoy the stress-free life that you deserve.
And that's absolutely true. We give it just as it is, just as we know it to be, just as we believe it to be. So no BS, no fluff, no anything like that.
Maybe a little fluff.
Maybe a little fluff? Okay, well, absolutely. Because a little sugar helps the medicine go down, right?
Much easier.
Yeah, sometimes we have to give that straight talk, and it's not what people want to hear. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes the truth can hurt. Truth is inflexible. Truth is hard. Truth is intolerant. I mean, truth is the truth.
And I prefer the truth all the time.
Yes, and Kathy is known for her straight talk.
Yes.
And we love it. All right, so today we're going to talk to you about the factors of what can make a person have quality of life. It's a little bit of deviation from what we normally talk about, like in specific health insurance needs, but we do want to go through a few reminders, particularly those people who are on Medicare Advantage plan. Kathy, what kind of reminders or timelines you want to give about the Medicare Advantage folks?
Well, sure, Tom. Since we've already passed with the annual election period that started back in October 15th, and ran through December 7th, that was the opportunity for anyone who was on a Medicare Advantage plan or even a drug plan to make a change for the upcoming year. If you did not make that election or that change, we are currently in open enrollment. So that's going to run through the end of March. That is your opportunity to make a change to your Medicare plan, and that would be your final change for the rest of the year, obviously until October 15th comes back up and we can review your current plan for the following year.
So that's 10 more days, right?
Yes, the clock is ticking.
And I think I said that this is March 23rd. Did anybody else catch that? It's actually March 21st. My. Boy, we don't want to wish our lives away, because that could have been 2 days that I could have missed out on, so we don't want to do that. Yeah, so that's right. So if you, and now the governor did sign into effect a new, what's called special election period, special enrollment period. Anyone on Medicare that did not make any type of change starting from January 6th, and actually it runs through July. Yeah, end of July, I believe. So you have the opportunity to make a change in your drug plan, all because of a special enrollment period here in the state of Florida signed into law recently by our governor. So, giving a lot of people opportunity to change their Medicare plan. So if you're on a Medicare plan, whether it's a prescription drug plan, Medicare Advantage plan, give us a call at Owen Insurance Group, 772-210-1020. And is there another phone number they can call?
That's 772-210-1020.
That's right. That's a little more fluff, a little smoother, a little more fluent there. So thank you for that phone. But you'll reach us anywhere. So quality of life, Kathy. The name of this radio show, Gary started this radio show and actually used the name on a program many years ago, but we started this about over 2.5 years ago. Quality of life, and that's what we're all about. We're trying to enhance people's quality of life by helping them simplify, for us, simplifying insurance planning. But taking away the whole insurance aspect of things, let's talk about quality of life. So I know you've got a lot of thoughts on it. You're a healthy person. You're a person that believes in eating right, exercising, taking vitamins and supplements and stuff. So take it away.
Well, I know you and Gary did a show a few shows back, and you guys were talking about positive affirmations and doing something that becomes a habit after so many days. Part of that's your quality of life right there. I mean, just waking up and looking in the mirror, smile. I mean, I know it's Monday morning, you didn't have your coffee yet, but just smile, because that's what's going to start your day. Right, Tom? That's
Smile.
Your quality of life. Be grateful for what you have. That's another thing.
That's right.
Too often it becomes very easy to get caught up with what we don't have, and having a lack of a full, successful relationship, not only with people, but just with yourself.
And if I may quickly, on being grateful, I read some studies that there are actually studies done that the more you actually verbally say thank you or be grateful for something, it changes. It does something, endorphins in your body. It does something physically to you. So
absolutely.
Yeah.
And Tom, and just to get on to another subject too, quality of life, the most selfish thing that you can do is actually to help somebody else. Because when you help someone else, you feel so good. Don't you feel good about yourself when you actually help someone else?
I think Ralph Waldo Emerson said you can never help someone else without it somehow helping you in return.
That's correct.
And so, the Bible said many years ago, it's more blessed to give than to receive.
Absolutely.
So whenever you do something good for people, it's always a blessing to you.
Absolutely. And, Tom, when I was back in my 20s, which was so long ago.
That's 10 years ago, right? 5 or 10 years ago?
I could tell you, I never thought, honestly, about the future with my health. I just said to myself, and I felt great. Now, I just turned 56 years old, and sitting in front of me are, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just 6 bottles of my supplements that I brought in.
Nice.
Out of these 6 supplements, never did I think I would be on these supplements. But they're to enhance my quality of life. I'm aging. My body changes just like everyone else. I bought a back scratcher. I'm 56. I'm not as limber anymore. So, there's a reason they make these. Let's see. Tom and I both walk around with a pill box.
That's
already.
right.
Never in my wildest dreams.
And thankfully, I'm not on any medication due to a quality of life change I started about a year ago. And mine is filled with my supplements as well.
I think it's important to, we always say exercise, eat right. Exercise doesn't have to be so rigorous. You don't have to do 50 squats. Get up and go for a walk, just down to the stop sign. Go get your mail.
You don't get to go to the power gym and pump iron.
No,
Kathy?
I just lift bags of groceries. So there's so many different options for you. And not only quality of life physically, but you have to also think quality of life for your mind.
And who do we have here? This brings nice quality of life.
Leia, our OIG
Princess
mascot
Leia, say
here.
hi to the camera.
She's changed the quality of life here at Owen Insurance Group with all our clients that come in, our staff. One day she was not here, and I can tell you a lot of people here were upset because she does lighten the mood here. She breaks it up. She makes people get up and play with her. So we're getting exercise.
She is the epitome of that song, brown-eyed, woman, right? Brown-eyed lady. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful dog, Leia.
But just to get back to improving your quality of life, again, like I said, it's not all about physical, it's mental too. You need to your body needs to rest as well. You become more organized in your mind when you're restful, right, Tom? Wouldn't you agree?
I tell you what, if I don't get the proper amount of sleep, I can be grumpy. I can get just fatigued, not as sharp, not as
Right.
have clarity of mind.
Not functioning 100%.
I mean, there's so many things about sleep. There's whole medical professions on sleep deprivation, and of course CPAP machines. A lot of people who can't get a good quality of rest because they're not getting the oxygen they need.
Correct.
So good sleep is important.
Yeah, and there's a quote here too. It says, "It's all about quality of life and finding a happy balance between work and friends and family." So you have to organize your life. And I know it's very difficult to do that. Sometimes you're going to have to use highlighters. I think that's why they made them. You can highlight your day timer. Gary and I were just talking about that the other day. On his day timer, which is filled to capacity, each day highlight the green for work, the blue for time for yourself, and maybe pink for your time with your partner, because the balance in life provides for a quality of life as well.
Well, that's really good. And Kathy is Miss Organization, so she's got things really planned out, set, and that's not a bad way to be. Have things planned out, and then of course, the road is not always straight and narrow. Sometimes you make the plan, but you got to be flexible. And another quote, Kathy. We were talking about helping people and being grateful and doing good for other people. That it talks about community service, and one thing that we know is that isolation can really be a detriment to a person's quality of life and to their mental health, and that's a real problem with many of the aged people that are alone, their spouse or someone has moved on or passed away. But this talks about getting involved, but without community service, we would not have a strong quality of life. It's important to the person who serves as well as to the recipient. It's the way in which we ourselves grow and develop. And there's been many times that I've had opportunities to participate in either very small community service type organizations, helping the homeless, helping an individual, or one time I helped feed I think 3,000 or 4,000, 5,000 turkey dinners up in Fort Pierce. And I'm talking about the operation was just massive. And I was just one of hundreds of volunteers. But I sat there and helped put food on the plate and process the whole thing for like 3 or 4 hours. And I tell you, I left there just feeling just high as a kite. I mean, it felt so good to be able to do something well. And, of course, I got to eat as well. But I tell you what, community service and doing good for others helps bring quality of life.
And I have to concur with that. I did volunteer over at the Salvation Army. And
I remember.
Yeah, they have a food bank there. They serve food. I can tell you, I did not expect, honestly, to see that many people come out for a meal. And just to sit down with people and have a meal with them and find out just a little bit about them, because so many people, I think these days with technology, they're isolated now. They're behind closed doors. You don't really see kids running outside anymore. When I was little, I was not allowed back in the house until dinner. So my quality of life was running around, fresh air, and I'm getting that exercise. So maybe, organizing your life, put the phone down. Get your kids outside.
That's right.
The good old days.
The good old days, yeah.
When I used to be able to scratch my own back.
Yeah, and you mentioned sunshine, being outside as well. I recall, and I wish I could find the list, I recall getting a list someone had passed out at a seminar I went to. It talked about the different types of free doctors. Of course, we know in the health insurance world, if you go see a doctor, you would normally have a copay. Might be $5, $10, $50. Like for me, a primary care doctor to visit them is $50, and a specialist is $100. So, but there are some doctors that are, especially here in South Florida, we get to take advantage of. That's absolutely free. and I'm going to name a few of them that I remember. But number one is Dr. Sunshine. You know, vitamin D is one of the most deficient vitamins that many people have in their body, and so they have to take those D3 pills. You know, the 1,000 units, etc. But you can get your vitamin D, at least a portion of it, maybe not all, by just being in the sun. And I don't mean just, you know, over abusing it until your body is just
Like a leather handbag.
yeah, like a leather hand, but like a crocodile. But Dr. Sunshine, a small amount of sunshine every day is good. Dr. Fresh Air, taking deep breaths. You know, breathing exercises. You know, there's all types of studies, and YouTube it, Google it. I mean, look up about deep breathing exercises. Most people only breathe in about 25% of what they should to sustain their body, because our body needs to take in fresh air and exhale the carbon monoxide, or breathe in oxygen and breathe out one of those carbons.
And Tom, you know, there's a way to breathe, I found out.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. How
So,
do we breathe? Can you give us a quick lesson?
Well, I'm still practicing because sometimes I feel like I'm not even breathing. I just hold my breath.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever feel that way.
I do.
But I was seeing, and still am, seeing a wonderful acupuncturist who next door to our office, Dr. Scheip. So I just want to give him a shout out. Taking a breath in, slowly counting to 5, holding it, counting to 5, and releasing it, counting to 5.
Five,
And
five,
as
five.
simple as it may sound,
Yeah.
it is not the easiest task to do.
No, it's not.
I couldn't believe how difficult it was for me.
Yeah, we had a doctor from WellMed on our show maybe a year and a half ago, and she did a similar and different numbers, so I'm sure the process is the same. But she said 357. Of course, I remember it because it's a gun. But breathe in for 3 seconds, hold it for 5 seconds, and breathe out for 7 seconds. So what's the hardest part for you of that 555 or 357 method?
I would say breathing in.
Breathing in
Yeah.
for 5 seconds takes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I would say, I don't know why.
Mine was breathing. Well, on our method, or the method the doctor gave me with 357, breathing out for 7 seconds. Oh, I mean, you're sitting there pushing. You know, Iggy, hit me. You know, maybe I'll get a little bit more out. But you know, breathing in the 3 seconds was maybe that's why she did that, because it was hard. But I couldn't imagine breathing in for 5 seconds.
Or 7.
Or 7, or breathing out for 7. Anyway, so fresh air, deep breathing exercises, and then doctor exercise. I mean, so they don't have to go to the gym. They don't have to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? But just, you know, 30 minutes of walking. And if they can't walk, what could they do? What if they're chair bound? Do you know any exercises?
Sure, because I used to be chair bound.
Right.
Remember, I had back surgery and I was unable to walk a long distance, but just sitting in the chair, raising your ankles, arching your feet. You can even do like a leg extension. It gets your circulation going. It actually works your calf muscles, even your thigh muscles. Not only that, Tom, not to get off the subject, but quality of life with the food that you're taking in,
Nutrition,
you're exercising,
yes.
your mental stableness, right, with your mind. But then we also have to think, you know, a friend of mine put a posting on Facebook the other day, and I'm not on Facebook often, but, you know, I did the little thumbs up.
Yeah.
I think our society now, you know, you've reached a certain age, you have to look a certain way, dress a certain way, act a certain way. You know, my mom always said that age is only a number, right?
That's right.
My mom will be 76 years old. She can run circles around me. And I know she's listening if she
All right.
successfully got
Hi,
onto
Mama.
Facebook. Hi, Mom. But, you know, just you can see the changes, right? We have some wrinkles near our eyes. The quality of our skin changes. Shout out to Skin Serenity and Spa in Colorado Avenue, Candace Lopes,
Candace
who,
Lopes.
you know, tightens it up a little bit here
And our
for
rock
me.
and roll hubby. Yeah.
Dean. So I want to thank her and her wonderful staff as well. People always say, oh, you have great skin. Well, it was God-given and taken care of by Skin Serenity. So
Nice.
thank you for that.
Yeah, and the food you eat, I recall in elementary school, the signs all over the lunchroom was, you are what you eat. And of course, we would start calling each other meatballs and potatoes, and you're a big corn head, because we're eating corn, we're eating meatballs, and all that. But the nutritional value that comes, or lack of nutritional value that comes from the food we put in our body, it goes into our blood. It's digested. It goes into our cells, and it's either going to help recreate healthy, strong cells, or it's going to create things in our body that are not good. It can affect the brain. It can affect the bloodstream. It can affect the fat deposits and fat cells. So getting good nutrition, a year ago I was referred to by my primary care doctor to a nutritionist, a certified nutritionist named Farrah Taylor. She's here in the Treasure Coast. You can look her up, the Nutrition Clinic. And once I learned how to eat properly and certain things that are good for me, now I know, and I have shed weight, and it's always nice that people say, "Oh, you look good," or I had a woman yesterday, hadn't seen me in a while. She said, "You look so young. You look so much younger." And somehow, because of the food I'm putting in my body,
is coming out,
and the food I'm not putting in my body, it's making me healthier, and I have more clarity. I'm thinking clearer, and I do take supplements, and I know you have one for ginkgo biloba.
I'm getting older.
That's the memory.
I have to keep it up.
Hey, absolutely. And I take actually a brain supplement, and I cleared it with her, and I said, I want her to see everything that I'm putting into my body. And I tell you, good nutrition is invaluable.
Well, I started just taking ginkgo, not only to remember all my stuff, but to remember Gary's stuff as well.
Oh, there we go. And Kathy is not only a wonderful health insurance agent, above par, I mean, just fabulous. She takes care of a lot of people's Medicare as well, the other health insurance products, but she also does a lot to run the office here at Owen Insurance Group.
Thank you for that, Tom.
Yep.
I'll pay you later.
Okay, absolutely. Oh, she's invaluable around here. So, so quality of life. So if you just did one of these this week, say, I'm going to focus on this week, getting out and doing some exercise. And then maybe next week do something. Inch by inch, everything's a cinch.
Right, and then daily it will start becoming a habit. When I wake up, just like you wake up and you brush your teeth. Every day it's a habit, right?
Am I supposed to brush my teeth
Also,
every day?
some people should brush them more often.
I do brush my teeth every day, and I floss all throughout the day, actually. So.
But just like that, so those little things. I brush my teeth. I scrub my face. I eat a healthy breakfast. I take my supplements. So every day you do one thing for a certain amount of time every day, and then you keep building up.
So you mentioned it becomes a habit. So what if somebody has a bad habit that they know it's a bad habit, they know it's affecting their health, they know it's affecting their quality of life, and that could mean it could be affecting just the way they look at themselves. It could be the way they feel like people are perceiving them, and maybe people are perceiving them, or in their relationships. So how, in your opinion, how can someone break a bad habit?
Well, I'll share this with everyone. Please. So I had a really bad habit years ago. I smoked. I smoked cigarettes.
Okay, that's not too good for your quality of life.
No, not at all. I found that I had to find a different way to deal with a lot of stress.
Okay.
Life can get stressful. I don't care how healthy you are. Life happens, you get stressful. So everybody's different. Their mentality is different. I say to myself, okay, I'm just going to stop. I feel bad for other people who do struggle, but there's so many different options for them. But I think if you just, and what I did was I cut down a cigarette a day. Every day I cut down until then I said, no more, and that was it, and I just stopped. So I think we have 2 more minutes before we finish up here, Tom.
Well, that's a great. So if you need some cigarette succession, more tips, come by the office. Give us a call. Call Kathy at 772-210-1020. So that's great. And I tell you what, just adding some of these things day by day, if you make yourself 1% better each day of the year, by the end of the year, you'll be 37 times better than you are today. So if there's a specific thing that you want to get better at, or there's bad habits you want to replace, just start not focusing on resisting or trying to get. Now, Kathy, just the just step by step taken away. That is great. And as she's taken away, she must have been doing something else to handle the stress.
Replaced it with exercising.
There you go. So replacing a bad habit with new habit and doing things one at a time. So I tell you what, has this gone by quick, Kathy, or what?
Too fast. I look forward to being on next week.
Okay, well, I'll make sure I'm out of town, and you can sit with Gary and be the guest as well. But I tell you what, folks, we really appreciate you listening in. This is the Quality of Life radio show. It's sponsored by Owen Insurance Group. And we are at 1611 Northwest Federal Highway, Stuart, Florida. You can give us a call at 772-210-1020. And we really are health insurance agents, even though we've been talking about the quality of life and nutrition and exercise and all that. And I tell you what, I want to thank you. I hope you enjoyed the show. We want to say stay safe, keep healthy, be happy, and enjoy your quality of life.